What have been some of the really meaningful changes and results that you've seen in the clients that you've worked with? Just give me a story or two.
Well, one of my uh, favorite clients who passed away in 2020, and he just been with me for a really long time, and he's just a wonderful person. Well, his father had died, and his parents were missionaries, and he grew up in Africa, in Congo. And so he had never had a conversation with his parents, either of them, about money. It was just never discussed. He went to missionary school. They did their thing. Somewhere back there, there were some people in the family that were not ministers or missionaries. So his mother had died early and his father died. And so they called him from the trust department and they wanted to ask him a few questions. They wanted to talk to him about this money he was going to inherit. And he said, I've never had a discussion with my father about money. We just didn't do it. And I don't think I can do it. And I said, well, sure you can. Let's just sort of wade in slowly. So we did. And then we got to the point where we were finishing up the estate for his father and mother. So he just said, I can't talk to the trust department. I don't know. I'm not used to talking about money to probably anybody but you. I said, well, if you want to call them and give them verbal authority to talk to me, and then they can call me. So he talks to them, they call me. I talk to his few things that I didn't have a daily balance on. And then we moved around to the point, well, let's get to how this is going to look as we finish the process. And so he just didn't, he just talking about money or asking the question, well, how much am I going to inherit was just foreign for this guy. So I said, well, I'll talk to him. So I talked to him and then I called him and he said, I don't expect there to be any money. My father remarried. We've never discussed money, but I'll be happy to talk to you and I'll be happy and grateful for anything that might come my way. So we go through the process. I talk to the trust department and then I get the amount and I call him and I ask him if he's by himself. And he said, yeah. I said, well, I want you to sit down. And he said, hey, is anything wrong? I went, oh, no, nothing's wrong. It's just different. We haven't talked about this before. So we go in and so then I tell him that he has just inherited $5 million and he's silent, and I think, what is this? And then finally, he looked at me and I went, yeah, that's it. And then he said, well, I, I don't, and then he looked at me, he said, oh, well, think of all the good we can do. And I went, yes. And that was my friend and my client's first go-to place wherever we went. And so upon his loss, we made sure that instead of spending money on flowers, that people had the option to give money to one or two of his favorite charities, which we did. But when you've known someone through the times when they have young children and they're not making a lot of money and they're sweating it out and doing an extra workshop this day or that day, and then they've come to a more comfortable level, and then they're at a level where everything is in order in a way they never imagined, and you just think, this is life changing. Inheriting money is life changing, and it doesn't have to be in a bad way. I mean, what could be better than to say, look at the good we can do? And So that taught me a lot, that so many of my clients that I've had for a long time, sure, they want to make money, but they want to look at the total picture of what's going on. And when they gift money, some people always like to give money to new sort of struggling charities. Some people like to give to charities that they've had a long relationship with. But there's no real wrong way to do it, as long as you keep your head about you, as long as you know what you want money to do and how you want it to serve you and the world, and you won't go wrong.